I'm Dr. Emmanuel Officer, and this is A Word for Life. And as usual, when people ask you questions about the Bible, you ask them, what does the Bible say? Today, I want to talk about the promises of God. Did you know the premise of God's promise is predicated on you and I meeting His standards, His qualifications? If you're trying to buy that house, the car, if you're trying to get money for your ministry, if you're looking to open up a business, you're trying to write a book, go to school, and you need the monies for it, well, you got to put something into it to go. Life is not free. The Bible says that money answereth all things. It does tell us that it doesn't say money is the root of all evil, but it says the love of money is the root of all evil. So God knows that we need money, but in order to get money, you have to put something in to get something out. So we have to plant a seed. The evolution is in the seed. The life of faith is in your seed. Your belief in that what you plant will grow. The Bible tells us in Ephesians 3:20, he says, now unto him who is able to bless you exceedingly and abundantly above all you could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Joshua 1:8 says, this book of the law, meditate in it day and night, and do and observe all according that's written therein, and then thou shalt have good success. Thou shalt be prosperous. He tells us in Habakkuk 2:19, he says, if you have faith in what you're doing and in me, he said, while the pomegranate has not been planted, and while the plum tree or the olive tree has not been planted, he said, while the seed is yet in the barn, he said, I'm going to bless you. What's he saying? He's saying that he's going to bless you if you have faith, because the life of faith is in your seed. Let me see if you can catch this revelation. A house that's not lived in is a dead place. A house that's not lived in ever, the paint begins to chip and melt away. The wood begins to chip. The floor begins to decay. Mildew, mold builds up in the house. Animals move into the house and start gnawing at the wood. Termites come into it and start eating the wood. People live in it, and eventually the house dies. A house that's lived in, there's lots of Christmases and Thanksgivings. There's life in the house. There's life in your seed. Let me put it another way. A book that is not read, if you never open it, if you open it one day, the pages have turned yellow. And if you never open the book, now the pages will begin to crumble, and the book will crumble away. Because there's no life, there's no light, there's no nothing. See, when you plant a seed, you have to water the seed, and then you have to watch the seed. See, catch the metaphor, catch the revelation. If you don't watch and water the seed, cankerworms will come up and eat it. The ragweed will come up and choke the life out of your seed. So you have to watch the seed. You have to look for the seed to grow up, and you have to understand that the evolution of what you're trying to get is in the seed that you plant. If you don't plant anything, then nothing's going to grow. If you planted watermelons, why are you looking for potatoes? If you planted carrots, why are you looking for greens? You reap what you sow. The Bible says in Malachi, can a man rob God? Well, yeah, well, how? In the tithes. And when he said, bring your tithes, so bring them into the house. Bring what God has given you. God has blessed you with it. You got to give back to God. You got to seed into yourself. You're seeding into yourself. God is rich. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. The silver is his. The gold is his. Everything belongs to God. He's just giving you a little back, and he's trusting you to give back into your own self. You're investing into your own self. The Bible says that in Romans 12, present your body a living sacrifice. Well, how do you do that? The reciprocal accumulative view is, if I had $5, and if I give it to you and I don't have another $5, I don't have another $5 to sacrifice. But when we talk of spiritual, it's dying out every day to what it's your struggle. So when you die out every day, now when you push it over to the seed, as your seed keeps increasing every day, because it's the same seed that you present, and so God will give it to you 34-fold, 40, 60, 100-fold. It keeps increasing. When you put the 5 in today, it'll be 10 tomorrow. And you try to put the 10 in, it'll be 20 the next day, and it'll be 60, 40. It keeps growing. You can't beat God's given, no matter how hard you try, because the life of the seed is your faith. And so when you plant it and you believe it, while the seed, Haggai said, is still in the barn, God said, I'm going to bless you. Simply because you did it by faith. You trusted God to make provision for you and to open the door and make the ways and give you those opportunities. So if you're looking for those things, plant a good seed and water your seed and watch your seed, and it will grow, it will develop, it will grow into whatever you want. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Officer, and this has been A Word for Life. And as usual, when people ask you questions about the Bible, you ask them, what does the Bible say?